Hello, my name's Annabel and welcome to this step-by-step tutorial video on how to use our Paycheck Budgeting Spreadsheet. This product has been designed to help budget your paycheck for any period of any year. It's perfect for those who receive their paycheck every week, every fortnight or even monthly. It breaks down your spending into 5 categories: assets, savings, expenses, bills and subscriptions and liabilities. This spreadsheet is perfect for those wanting to control their finances by tracking their saving and investing goals. This product also contains one transaction tracker and one budget template, meaning you only have to input the categories once before setting budgets for each. This product is suitable for both budgeting beginners and advanced investors. The purpose of this video is to run you through every element of this spreadsheet. If you've already purchased this product, feel free to open it up on your device while watching this tutorial. Equally, if you're watching to see if this product is right for you, feel free to take notes and reach out to me directly on Etsy if you have any further questions after watching this tutorial. All the links to our listings will be displayed in the bio below. When you open the spreadsheet, I highly recommend reading everything in the instructions tab first. However, as you're already watching this video tutorial, I will explain the steps. Please note that this tab contains instructions on unlocking the spreadsheet further down if you wish to play around with the formulas. But please do this at your own risk. If you are using the Google Sheets version, you'll notice a big instruction at the top of the tab. You need to go to File and Make a Copy in order to edit this spreadsheet. This is because this is my master copy. Therefore, I cannot allow editor access to my customers, as everyone will be using it simultaneously. Remember to save your copy in a relevant folder. Let's start in the Setup tab. Here, you'll notice it's divided into several columns. As a general rule, fill in this tab from left to right and only edit the cells highlighted in light green. Start by entering your categories for each transaction type. There are 6 transaction types which form the budgeting sections of your budget template tab. They are income, assets, savings, expenses, bills and subscriptions and liabilities. In the Budget Template tab, you can set a budget for each category you enter here. This does not mean you are expected to spend in that category in every new budgeting period. However, you are free to enter as many categories as you may need. As you enter your categories, the refund list on the left will automatically begin to fill in. I won't go into detail about the refund list now, but I'll explain later in this video how it works. Start by entering your expected sources of income on the left. Examples of income types include a paycheck, money from a side hustle, dividends from shares, or income from a rental portfolio. Add as many types of income as you may receive. You'll notice the top row of the income column says Rollover and is highlighted in white. This is automatically a category, as you may receive rollover amounts from your previous budgeting period which don't count as income. You'll be able to select the rollover category as well as your other entries in the transaction tracker later on. Next, enter your categories for the asset column. You may not be familiar with the term, and there are various definitions, but for this spreadsheet, an asset is something that someone owns that puts money in their pocket. For example, buying and renting property is a reliable asset. Other examples include buying stocks and shares, investing in cryptocurrency, buying gold and silver, or putting money into a business. I am aware that most people will not have many categories, if at all, in this column. The whole point is to make you aware of the different ways your income can grow further and be invested into tangible assets. Full disclaimer, there is no guarantee you will get your money back when investing in different assets. This can be dangerous, so please do so at your own risk. For more information about assets, head over to the glossary for the full definition used in this spreadsheet. Repeat the same exercise for the savings column. Enter as many savings accounts as you like. For example, a rainy day fund, a holiday fund, a house deposit, or an emergency fund. More examples are provided underneath the column. Next, enter the categories for the 3 spending columns. The expenses column is dedicated to everyday expenses, for example, food and drink, travel, clothing, beauty, and gifts. The bills and subscriptions column should include all the bills and automatic subscriptions you have to pay, for example, Netflix, water, rent, food deliveries, phone bills. Do not worry if these are not paid the same. for example, yearly or weekly. You can set a budget for each bill or subscription in your chosen budgeting period. Repeat this process for all liabilities, in other words, debt. This could include a mortgage, a car loan, retail debt, or any credit cards. Similarly, do not panic if these are not paid in the same way. Enter as many categories as you can for each transaction type. There is room for up to 20 expenses, bills or subscriptions, and liabilities. If you require more than 20, please get in touch and I can help customise to your requirements. Once you've entered all your possible budgeting categories, head over to the Budget Template tab. The Budget Template tab is where you will set your budgets and gain information about your spending from the graphs and charts provided. As a general rule, fill in this tab from left to right and only edit the cells highlighted in light green. Start by entering your chosen currency symbol at the top of the tab. Then enter a start date for the period you wish to budget for, as well as an end date. These dates are inclusive, meaning any transactions logged on and between these dates will be included within the actual amount figures. Once you've set your budgeting period, scroll down and enter the income you are expected to receive during this time. You also have the option to add a due date to each source of income. Please note, any logged income received on and between the start date and the end date in the transaction tracker will appear in the actual column. At this point, to allocate your spending budgets, you now need to go to the transaction tracker tab and add a rollover amount in line with the set budgeting period. This will add to your budget and give you some cash to start allocating your spending. To begin with, you'll notice the first line of the transaction tracker has been filled in for you. This is purely to demonstrate that you need to start with a rollover or income figure to allocate your budgets. Change the amount in the cost column to suit your starting amount, as well as the date of the transaction to suit the budgeting period. Once you have changed this, head back over to the Budget Template tab. Hopefully, you should now see a figure in the Left to Budget pie chart. This figure indicates how much you have left to budget for in your budgeting period. If you don't have a figure in this pie chart, please make sure the transaction date for the rollover amount and budgeting period match up. Based on the left to budget figure, you can now set an amount for each category you plan to spend during this time. The green area of the left to budget pie chart indicates the available money to budget, whereas the light grey area represents the money already budgeted for. Keep adding amounts for all applicable spending categories until the left to budget cell says £0. Now we've nothing left to budget, let's take ourselves back to the transaction tracker. The transaction tracker is where you will log all your transactions. As a general rule, please only edit the cells in light green in this tab. There are 5 columns you need to fill in that I will take you through. To make a new entry, start by entering the date of the transaction on the far left. Then, select a transaction type from the drop-down menu on the next column to the right. Here you can select from income, assets, savings, expenses, bills or subscriptions, liabilities, and refunds. Then, select a category based on the transaction type. Notice how the category list changes depending on the transaction type. If the category and transaction type do not match, the cell will turn red, indicating this discrepancy. Amend this by changing the transaction type or category to the one you desire. You'll notice the transaction type drop-down menu also includes the option Refunds. Here you have the option to refund any amounts you have received. This is applicable for all transaction types, including income. Simply select Refunds and choose the category you wish to refund. This spreadsheet will then minus this figure from the amount already spent in that category for that particular period. To view the full refund list, head over to the Setup tab. Continue to add different transactions by entering the cost and adding a description if useful. The balance column on the right shows the running balance of your funds, assuming all of your income and outgoings are being added and taken out of the same bank account. Please do not use this as a safe to spend figure. This should only be used to give you an indication of how much you should have left in your account. I recommend filling in the transaction tracker regularly so you can keep up to date with your frequent income and outgoings. The more transactions you fill in, the more accurate this spreadsheet will reflect your spending habits. Now we've entered a few new entries, let's analyse our spending in the Budget Template tab. The graphs and charts within the tab will show you where your money is going, compare your income and outgoings, tell you how much you have saved and invested that period, as well as your supposed balance amount. You'll also be able to compare the budgeted and actual amounts in each budgeting section. The Safe to Spend graph works similarly to the Left to Budget pie chart. However, this graph is made up of green, light grey and dark grey areas. The green area represents the money saved to spend, whereas the dark grey area shows the upcoming bills, subscriptions and liabilities budgeted for in that particular period. Another point to mention is that the bills and subscriptions and liabilities sections work slightly differently from the rest of the tab. Firstly, you'll notice an extra column to add an estimated due date for each bill, debt or subscription. In addition, each row has a dedicated tick box. If a bill, debt or subscription has been fully paid for, tick the Paid box to the left of it. When ticked, the cell will be striked out and shaded in grey. This shows you have paid the bill regardless of the budget figure. If for some reason the budget figure is more than the figure in the actual column and it has been paid for, the remaining column will turn to 0. This means you don't have any money remaining for that category and any extra amounts will be deducted from the dark grey area of the Safe to Spend pie chart. Continue to see how much you have saved to spend as the budgeting period goes by. If you receive more income than expected during this time, make sure to budget that extra cash when it comes in. Again, remember to update the transaction tracker regularly so you can keep up to date with your frequent income and outgoings. As you've just witnessed, hopefully you can now see how you can use this spreadsheet for budgeting your paycheck or paychecks for any period of any year. The glossary tab can be used to understand the terminology used within the spreadsheet and inform you on other financial terms, whereas the budget template and transaction tracker tab do not need to be duplicated. Keep this template forever by changing the start and end date of your budgeting period. Make sure to update the budgets for each new period and if your paycheck varies. If you need to modify a transaction or budget, you can always go back and amend it as needed. Remember, this spreadsheet is to be used as a tool to help you track your budgeted and actual spending. If there are costs that you haven't entered, you risk going over budget and messing with your actual spending. As I've already mentioned, the more transactions you fill in, the more accurate your spending will become. If there are any terms you do not understand, head over to the glossary tab for further information on some of the key terms used within the spreadsheet. If you have any questions about how to use this product that I've missed in this video, please get in touch and let me know. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Until next time.